Ben and I performed before.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So you guys can show the rest of them how it's done. Basically, the way we do our Celtic music and our folk music is that everybody has to sing along at least once. Mandatory. You must do this. It can be any time during the concert, as long as it's during the chorus. If you can leave verses to me, that would be awesome. But choruses are your
Don't make us turn the cameras around and watch you.
I know, seriously. And that's an excellent point, is we can see you, so we can tell you're not singing. What? Oh, what? You don't want me standing right next to you then? So this marks our 10th anniversary, he and I, going, traveling around the world. And I can, well, all right, traveling around North America a lot and Europe a little bit, making music for people. So, 10 years. No murders yet. This is awesome.
That she knows of.
The bodies have not been found.
I don't want to know.
I have a very technical question about this camera right here.
Yeah.
Is it currently rolling?
Yes.
Excellent, because I may have accidentally contracted for another live album today.
Oh, okay.
So, you know, it'd be really handy if we had one.
You'll get credit, Rob, don't worry. So you guys better
There's
sing.
one in the back rolling too. So.
You better sing. Oh my goodness. Okay.
As Lemmy has been known to say, tonight we are making a live album, so you better make a lot of noise so people think we're popular.
We'll talk about my commission later.
Yeah, there we go. We'll be doing entirely Slayer and Motorhead covers tonight.
Throw some Kiss in there somewhere.
No, I'm not throwing Kiss in there. Sacrilege. Wait.
Hair.
I'm very proud of the fact that I am the first person ever to stage dive at a Heather Dale concert. I'm also the first person to injure himself stage diving. And we also almost had the first photographer killed by a stage dive. I didn't expect him to go that way. It was a dumb way for him to go. Shouldn't have done that.
And ever since we've been banned from Plano, Texas, you know.
Oh.
Alrighty, well, we're going to start with a song by a dear friend of mine, Emily Holbert, who many of you know as Ember McGuire. She is a great songwriter. I love her to death. And like me, she writes songs inspired by history. I suspect the vast majority of people here think history is awesome. I love it. And the rest of you we're going to convert by the end of the night. I don't know how many of you are on the Saxon team versus the Norman team, but of course,
I'm on neither team.
well, okay, fair enough. 1066. Everything changes.
I don't know this song many months.
I'm Hebridean, I'm bodybuilding ball.
You play their songs, I'll sing ours.
Awesome. Fantastic. Cannot fail.
So 1066, everything changed in England because the Saxons got their tails handed to them by the Normans. And whenever we're touring in England, I make sure to introduce this differently because the English are not fond of being reminded that the French kicked their butts. Unless they did. So basically, 1066, all of the ruling class became, they were Normans. They had come from across the sea. So the Saxons kept doing pretty much what they'd always been doing, hunting in the forests, etc. But the Normans said that the beasts of the field and forest now belonged only to the king and his cronies. As I said, the Saxons kept doing exactly what they were doing before, and this is a song called The Adventures. good story and a really bad joke that goes along with this particular song. So, how many people are in the I Want to Hear the Story camp? Okay, that's pretty good. Bad joke? I always check, you know. Might be a particularly decorous audience, you know. Keep things nice and calm. All right, so I'll start with the story in a short form. The short form of the story goes like this. A mother and son, every morning to start their day, go for a ramble along the water's edge, with one foot in the ocean surf and the other foot up on the sand. Now, right from the time the little guy could walk on his own, occasionally he would drop his mother's hand and very carefully toddle up the sand towards the high tide line, where all of the little remaining pieces of seaweed had been dropped in the rocks, and he would look and look and look, and he got excited when he found a little fish or some sort of creature stuck in one of the puddles. He would pick it up, and very solemnly, very gently, take it down to the water's edge and throw it in, because that's where it belonged. So the mother watched this with a smile on her face, and he kept doing it. Week after week, season after season, year after year. He got older and bolder and stronger, and one day he got too bold. He walked too far out into the surf with one of his treasures, and a riptide grabbed his feet and started to pull him out to sea as well. Now, needless to say, she was terrified watching that happen. But before she could dive in to try to save him, when you know it, a big wave picked the little guy up, very solemnly, very gently, threw him back up on the sand. So that's where he belonged. So I've always liked that story. It's really quite a sweet lesson about being kind without expecting a reward, and sometimes it comes back to you. So we were playing it in Long Island about 4 years ago, and a guy came up to me after the concert and says, "Oh, I know that story. My grandma used to tell it, but it had a different ending." You see, in this version, the little boy is walking along with his mother and he gets pulled out to sea. Well, his mother falls to her knees and says, "Oh God, don't take my son from me. He's my everything, my whole world. Don't take him from me." And wouldn't you know it, a big wave picks the little guy up and throws him back on the sand. And she looks up and says, "Ahem, he had a hat." So take this as you will. This is our version of the story. It's called Fisherman's Boy. year, you will have seen our newest album, which is called My Celtic Heart. It's all traditional Irish and Scottish and various undetermined Celtic songs that I grew up singing. And so we wanted to take them and give them a little bit of a twist and send them off in a new direction. So I really like, as a woman, singing this song, because it adds a whole neat layer of, you know, being all sassy and cute. The trick that we did to this, and I'll give you the magician's secret here. Usually you sing this in 6. You count to 6 as you're going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What?
Singers can't count.
And usually it's between Ben and our drummer who start in on the whole I can't count thing, and I really miss John because
Our
I
drummer
get to
counts
do
great. He goes 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. It took me about 6 years to teach him that. Maybe we get to 2.
One, lots, many, too
One,
many.
lots, many, too many. Yeah, exactly. So anyways, normally you sing this by counting to 6. I apologize for making you do math on a weeknight, but we're not counting to 6 when we do this. This is a totally different number. I believe it as an exercise to the students to figure out what we are in fact going to. And we tune because we care.
Speak for yourself. I tune because I got to do something while Heather's talking. Now the exciting part is going to be to find out how many verses of this I can do with a pick tonight, because last night I discovered that yes, you can play this song fingerstyle. I discovered that really quickly. So, and very cleverly, all of my other picks are in my trouser pocket back at the motel. Yeah, this could be exciting.
There's a Baton Bridge town in the county, down the morning last July. Down the Bowery Creek in a sweet Colleen, and I smiled as she passed me by. She looked so neat from her 2 white feet to the shade of her nut brown hair. Such a coaxing elf, sure I shook myself to make sure I was really there. Yeah. Too many.
5-4.
Who else? Who else? Oh, sorry. Okay, I thought you were saying
Sorry,
nine.
no, 5 over 4.
No, it's not nine. Yes, five. All right, so I'm going to do something so brand squeaky new that I only performed it first last night. And I figured I might as well try it out on you guys because I know you, and that's it. So, I keep thinking now that I've done a traditional album, I would love to do a bunch of original songs that sound traditional. So it's going to be a project I work on slowly over the course of the next few years, but this I think is going to be one of the very first of them. Let me see how I do. I once loved a rover. I knew he was that from the start. And loving a rover at best is a delicate art. His love for me brought us together. I gave him my heart. But his love for himself and the road is what led us to part. He said he would change a few things, though he'd not settle down. He was through with his lying and through being run out of town. He'd roamed a long time and was happy, and freedom was key. But I said that I'd stay if his steps always led back to me. Oh, I knew about the girls, though he said, no, they're nothing like you. At first I was proud and I thought that perhaps it was true. But he'd laugh and he'd flirt and he'd send them a letter a day. But he couldn't be bothered to write me when he was away. Oh, I once loved a rover. I knew he was that from the start. And loving a rover at best is a delicate art. His love for me brought us together, and I gave him my heart. But his love for himself and the road is what led us to part. I tried to be strong and to give him whatever he'd need. I knew he was set in his ways, so I bothered to plead. I asked him to visit me more, but he spoke to me less. I asked him to tell me the truth, but he left me to guess. And that day I woke up and thought, I have been giving the best of me, while he thinks that I should be content with whatever I get. I'm sorry you're sad, was the closest he came to apology. I'm a hard man to love, was the closest he came to regret. Ah, for fair Lady Fortune, the game is in who she can catch. She promises riches that no mortal woman can match. I know now she gives him his joy and new songs to be sung. And she's left my heart grieving, widowed too terribly young. Oh, I once loved a rover, I knew he was that from the start. And loving a rover at best is a delicate art. His love for me brought us together, and I gave him my heart. But his love for himself and the road is what led us to part. La-dum-dum-dum-dum-dum, la-dum-dum-dum-dum-dum. Excellent. I don't know why we're changing the set list. Oh, cool. Okay, well this is good because this means there's more singing for you. So,
That was totally my plan.
yeah, because you're just a giving guy. That's what you do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I give lots of people on the freeway things.
Yes. I have to warn you, do not flip people off in Texas. It is a concealed carry state.
It's an open carry state.
It's an open carry state, actually, yes. It wasn't concealed carries day when we started touring.
It's basically, can you carry it?
Yes, if you can carry it physically, then you're allowed to have it.
It's like the drinking laws in Quebec. If they can see you over the bar, you're old enough to drink.
Yeah. Yeah, the old joke was, you know, the drinking age in America is 21, the drinking age in English Canada is 18, and the drinking age in French Canada is 4'9". Which made it a very popular destination for certain people. So, this is one of the very, very first songs I ever wrote. I've been in a musical family my whole life, but I didn't think anybody wanted to hear the songs that I had to sing. You know, like, everybody grows up with that worry that you're just, you know, singing and no one's listening. And I was a baby bard in my principality at the time, it's now a kingdom, and I basically was told by one of the bards who was, you know, looking for new people. He said, "We want you to sing a song in praise of your princess." And for those of you not in the SCA, this is all for a medievalist organization which is ruled by princesses and princes and kings and queens. So here I am, knees knocking, and I go up and I sing a song for our princess. And she liked it. And I thought, there is no stopping me now. And so I started writing like a mad fiend, and this is one of the ones that came out. And if you know the chorus, leap on in. If you don't, it is a combination of those fine medieval virtues of farming and fighting. So you should be able to pick it up pretty quick. It's called All the Names. All the names of the foemen who've fallen, let them be carried like seeds on the wind. And all the names of the kinsmen who follow, let them be jewels in the crown of our King. Right. Gather the sheaves of harvest time lightning, day to day will they strengthen
really special for me to play that song here in Pittsburgh because the last time we played that song, I went on such a complete chord safari in the bridge.
Yep.
I played every chord that was mathematically possible except the ones that we were supposed to play for that. So I feel really vindicated now.
I just figured he's been listening to a lot of jazz recently. Let's do a couple more and then take our break. This one, though, I definitely wanted to do. A lot of you know Emily Colbert, my friend up in Toronto. She is doing great and sends her love to those of you who know her. And for those of you going to Penzic, she's going to be there, which is awesome because she doesn't always make it. I have the great privilege of calling Em my apprentice, and she and I songwrite together. This one is one of the songs that when she wrote it, I just went, oh wow, that's cool. Because like me, she's inspired by the old view of the fairy folk. You know, in the old days, the Celts knew that you didn't want Tinkerbell in your garden. It was not a good thing. If the fae folk took an interest in you, it could change your world forever. And so she grabbed an old version of the Scottish fae folk tales. And they're known as the Selkies. Now the Selkies look like seals in the ocean, swimming around during the daylight hours, doing whatever it is seals do, we were just in Monterey earlier, Monterey, California, and we couldn't afford to go to the aquarium itself, but we went down to the beach, and on every square inch of anything remotely horizontal were just seals sacked out on each other. They were just sleeping, and I thought, what a cool thing it is to be a seal.
It was awesome until we saw the seal that turned around and vomited on his friend's head and then went back to sleep. This is the seal fraternity. It's Sigma Epsilon Lambda.
Blurk. So anyways, yeah, so okay, aside from the very fishy burps, then being a seal is pretty good. So, at night, if the Selkie folk choose, they can take off this seal skin that they wear, put it aside, and then walk out on shore, looking very much like you or I. Now, the female Selkies have pretty much all of the fae magic in that particular species. The female Selkies, once they have put their skin aside, as long as it remains untouched by man, if she hides it well, she can stay on shore for as long as she likes. And even today, among the Hebrides and the Orkneys, the Outer Isles, there are tales that if there's a particularly lucky fishing family, it's probably because a Selkie woman decided that she liked the shore life and married into a family and sent her good luck down through the generations from grandmother to granddaughter. But the male Selkies can barely do it once. They pull themselves out of the water, pull their skin away, step out on shore looking tall and gorgeous, but they have only a few short hours to conduct whatever business they have on shore. So if they are not by the stroke of midnight back in their sealskin and back in the ocean, they dissolve away into seawater, and that is the end of them. So if, as in this tale, a male Selkie decides he wants to pay court to a fisherman's daughter on shore, they have to get a little more creative about it. This is the maiden and the Selkie. Once a fair and handsome seal lord lay his foot upon the sand for to woo the fisher's daughter and to claim her marriage hand. I have come in from the ocean, I have come in from the sea, and I'll not go to the waves, love, lest you come along with me. Lord, long have I loved you, as a Selkie on the foam, I would gladly go and wed ye, and be lady of your home, but I cannot go into the ocean, I cannot go into the sea. I would drown beneath the waves, love, if I went along with you. Lady, long have I loved you, I would have you for my wife, I would stay upon your shoreland, though it robs me of my life. I will stay one night beside you, never go back to the sea. I will stay and be thy husband, though it be the death of me. La 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 one very brief announcement, and then we are going to just destroy all the cookies. So, the brief announcement is, of course, Lookshul has their Facebook stickers and their business cards, so definitely grab those, give them some support. And we have everything we sing up here is on one or the other of the CDs. There we go, beautiful Vanna White. Hey, now hold on a second, Rob. You dressed up, so you gotta come out here and help. And we've got CDs and songbooks, and I have 4 t-shirts that I have made with my own 2 hands. They are the last 4 that I have, and if they fit and you would like them, they are $20. And as I said, I silk screen them myself. Oh, you realize, Jackie, it doesn't come with Ben. Pay extra if you take them with you. So anyways, 15-minute break. Come eat all the cookies. There's water in the fridge. We've got lots of stuff. We can take credit cards for whatever, and we will be back.